Hello. I'm here beginning the podcast because, as always, the boys did the podcast and then did not do a good enough cold open. In fact, the cold open was terrible. You'll see it at some point in the podcast. You won't see me in the podcast because I'm not there in the podcast. Anyway, this episode is about threads, and my entire opinion on this is why? Why do you need another social media app? किसके लिए चाहिए? तुम लोग को काम नहीं है. How much time will you spend staring at a phone screen but not doing work? Like, just किताब पढ़ो, पिक्चर देखो, बाहर जाओ, ट्रैवल करो, खाना खाओ, खाना बनाओ, लोगों से बात करो. I don't know, whatever you want. You need another app, really? And I know that these are perspectives you've heard before, but I don't care. This is my perspective. Let's begin the episode.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Internet Set So, a show we take random and facts, and personal stories, and we talk about them. And let's start off with something that's been a hot topic for at least the last week. By the time this episode comes out.
No.
Is it a week? It's like barely any days, no?
Dude, it feels
since the
feels
episode
like a
comes
week.
out.
No. I mean, it like 6th July this happened, right? Like this thing came out. And we're talking about threads for those of you who aren't aware about it, or if you're on the fence about joining it or not, or whatever it is. Dude, मैं तो घुस गया threads में. What about you guys?
It's fun because you're just rehashing all the old, like I'm like pulling all the old tweets and I'm like, अच्छा ठीक है, ये तो चला था. Let's share them again.
मैं आज सुबह को उठ के ऐसे out of compulsion की चल भाई करो.
तूने कुछ नहीं किया है ठाकुर, मैंने देखा है आज सुबह. तूने कुछ नहीं किया.
मैं आ गया है सिर्फ देखने के लिए. क्या है?
Only followed me, that is all. Varun
Thakur is a lurker. Yeah.
क्योंकि मैं इतने टाइम से ट्वीट भी नहीं कर रहा. ठीक है, मैं उधर बैठ के लिटरली आई वाज ऑन ट्विटर टू गो थ्रू थ्रेड्स ऑफ इंटरेस्टिंग पीपल दैट आई फॉलोड, एंड नाउ आई हैव थ्रेड्स. सो लाइक आई डोंट नो, आई एम थ्रेडिंग अ फाइन लाइन बिटवीन am I going to use it or not, but I think I am.
So
I will start.
बहुत सारा people went crazy over the memes ना, because बहुत सारा like it's the same as Twitter and all that shit. एक मेरे को बहुत funny लगा था. वो जो Star Wars का meme है ना, Star Wars episode 2 का, वो होता है कि you wrote a thread on Twitter, right?
On Twitter, right?
No, but dude, it's another social media app, man. And like a decade into social media apps, I have very mixed feelings now. Like earlier, I used to get excited कि अरे नया social media app, चल try करता हूँ, देखता हूँ क्या होता है. I'm like, man, you know what I feel like? I feel like I'm a volleyball being punted across from one billionaire to another.
Yeah.
ये पकड़ कौतुक का profile.
Except
so
you as the ball are voluntarily jumping. ठीक है.
Yeah. And trying to see how many balls come with you. Because you need a lot of balls coming with you. What is your force of gravity?
What I'm confused about is, are people going to write threads on Twitter and then take a screenshot and put it on Instagram, or they're going to write threads on threads and take a picture of it and put it on Instagram, which they will then put it as a tweet later.
But threads pe you can share stuff on Twitter. So the way you shared something on Instagram, you can share, like वो share button है, वो सीधा Twitter पे जाएगा. So that's something he's done.
Yeah, no, I asked the same question. Like I was like, do I have to now share my, like I do this a lot where I tweet something and I take a screenshot and post it on Instagram. Okay, because
I also put it on Facebook, which is, by the way, still there somewhere in the corner.
Yeah.
अभी तो बर्थडे भी नहीं,
तेरे मम्मी के लिए फेसबुक मम्मी पापा के लिए.
अबे मम्मी पापा भी नहीं है, वो भी अभी इंस्टाग्राम आ गए. ठीक है, सब लोग ने फेसबुक पर बाय बोल दिया. फेसबुक पे पता है कौन है अभी? You know, all those pages you followed earlier, like they were fun meme pages, and now it's just become some random content with paid actors, and they enact scenarios which are more often than not sexual in nature.
Okay?
What? And they're 30-minute videos. You're like, wait till the end.
They've got like 20 million likes and views and shit like that. हमने 1 minute इस पे funny memes आते थे एक time पे 10 साल पहले. अभी उधर कुछ चालू है.
Pranks, like really horrible pranks. Like लड़की सो रही है और उसके सर पे वो लोग केक डाल रहे हैं या कुछ ऐसा, and weird as shit is, and she's still sleeping. It's like a weird porn that is happening. This is a complete suspension of disbelief. You will sleep through anything.
Yeah.
I used to think that Facebook would be a sort of like a diary of my recollections and memories.
It's a diary of recollections but not good ones. ठीक है, क्योंकि अभी भी आता है ना, here's a memory that has popped up from 2007 और तो कुछ ऐसे अजीब है जो देखो वो टाइम पे लगा fuck मैं क्या cool दिख रहा हूँ, and अभी मैं सब में आपको देख रहा हूँ ये delete yuck, the amount of filth that is on there. Hide from people, private album, sab band.
Yeah.
As if I don't exist.
Dude, remember the time when you would go out with your friends, okay, and then there would be some 60 pictures from the night which you would put all together without any kind of editing or filtering or anything. Just birthday party.
And those were the original dumps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were real dumps.
Birthday dump. Like, they were real like dumpy ass. उस पे भी लिया हुआ bro, digital camera पे लिया हुआ, उसको वायर से कनेक्ट करके अपने लैपटॉप में डाल के ट्रांसफर करके ये, and most of them would be titled DSC 00172.
Yeah.
That's how you went through it, and then you would put that shit up. Everybody had an album.
100%.
What happens in Goa? ...
And
मेरे पास भी था. ठीक है.
They used to have an album called Miscellaneous, and Miscellaneous was spelled in so many different ways. Like MIC and then make up your own word.
Minestrone soup.
MIC Lanius. अभी डाल तो कैसे भी ले. एक होता था ना, we used to all have an album called Random. Random बहुत होता था. This was just, and it was actually random, and the amount of people who had albums which were called Random is not even funny.
Yeah. Lots of random, lots of like, you know, the other thing, right? Where
the wall, dude.
Yeah. Writing on people's wall. Sheesh.
It's just completely.
Dude, your own like
6 साल पहले की बात है. Like this was
status
mainstream.
Updates. You remember status updates? So it would always be like your name is there, right? And you would assume that people are going to read it with your name. So you would begin with is in Goa.
Varun Thakur is in Goa.
The big deal about disclosing your relationship status in the relationship with it's complicated with fuck bro ye sab.
Also this thing,
do you know what the new thing is with relationship though?
What?
As opposed to all the dating apps, people have gotten frustrated, so now there are rings,
right,
which you can wear. There's a specific company that has gotten really popular in America. It's like a purple ring and a blue ring or something, which one is to signify heterosexual and one is to signify LGBTQ, and basically to say that you're single and available and looking for someone.
Oh, so you just
want actual contact.
No,
like, there's no chip or something inside it. It's just कि सामने से देखा कि आके मेरे से बात कर सकते हो.
But so does a ring change color or depending on your status or what?
Oh, now you've realized that I need to come out of the closet, so the ring will change color.
No, I mean, like, does it, like, say for example, you wore the ring and it was like green is for go, okay, and as you start talking to someone it turns orange, and then once you're a couple it turns red.
लोग रास्ते पे गाड़ी में रह के सिग्नल ऑब्जर्व नहीं कर रहे, देखो क्या लग रहा है, ये रिंग देख के कर रही है पब्लिक. सब लोग गुस्से में आ जाएंगे, अबे क्या पी हॉर्न मारने लग जाएंगे. अरे व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन, इट्स ग्रीन, इट्स रेड, इट्स येलो, पी जाना आगे चूतिए.
Oh no, I'm colorblind. I didn't realize you weren't available.
Why are you hitting me? Just drive ahead, we are in the bar. What are you doing? Oh, we're in the bar.
Man drives car. Oh, woman at bar.
Bro, that
was green signal.
There used to be back in the day on Facebook, right? Like, I think people used to get married so that they could update their Facebook live event. Is engaged to, is in relationship with, is married to, and like people took it damn seriously, dude. Gotta update it. Can't not update.
Yeah.
No, but it's crazy.
कि तूने अभी तक update क्यों नहीं किया that you are in a relationship.
This is true.
वो तो आधे लोग के उसके वजह से टूटे. तूने क्यों नहीं किया अभी ब्रेकअप? अरे लेकिन मगर तो
and then there's people going like, नहीं actually ना मेरे पेरेंट्स दोनों हैं फेसबुक पे, तो इसीलिए मैं एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकता.
And then you know slowly the parents and the uncles and the aunties, they just
yes.
And then ऐसे एक suddenly takeover हो गया. It literally became like, you know, वो family function में जाते ना कि बहुत अंकल आंटी आ गए तो सब cousins क्या कल्टी ले लेते साइड से.
हाँ.
तो अपन सब कल्टी लेके साइड गए. Hey, we'll go for an after party. Instagram. Yeah. अभी उधर भी आ रहे हैं. अभी hey, we are cool. Come on. घुस गए अंदर.
Bro, मेरे को इतना डर लगा था जब क्लब हाउस आया था. It was so much because we do podcasts.
Oh, remember
And
Clubhouse? Shit.
Clubhouse
Yeah.
seemed like the thing that we had to really pay attention to because podcast है तो we have to pay attention to Clubhouse. And I
And we did a
just
grand
did not.
total of 0 clubhouses.
One. We did one.
Yeah.
We
One.
did. Fuck, I don't even remember.
I hated that app so much, man. It's just a horrible interface. Like, have you ever been to a room where people are just discussing racist shit? And that's what it has become now.
Yes,
Now
I met with my grandmother the other day, and
No, but even Clubhouse, it became so one of two things, right? One, it was all of this like pent up hate and prejudice and all that.
Yeah.
And then the second direction it went was straight sex.
Yeah.
Straight. Please come for naughty chat. What?
Dude, कभी
Really?
naughty chat जा. It is hilarious what is happening. It's just
एक
dudes
मिनट, तू
trying
क्यों
to.
जा रहा है? तू क्या कर रहा
Because
है?
I wanted material. I was like, क्या है ये कितना कचरा है? And I'm there, and I'm just there as an observer. And people are free to join, huh? And they're like, and they, लड़की का photo है उसपे. That photo could be anyone. Okay, that photo is straight up.
It probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
the
a
girl
dude
is
called
just,
Ravi, bro.
and Ravi has not even spoken to the girl, and Ravi is just going like, हाँ मैं ये करूंगा, and it's dirty talk on the worst. हिंदी में dirty talk जो होता है
In
ना.
public, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
and then
fucking
30
crazy.
people are listening also, and you're doing the worst kind of dirty talk.
Yikes. So,
Bro, नहीं मेरे को बता और थोड़ा इसके बारे में. क्या?
नहीं बहुत
और
आपको
मैं I never use,
आपको
ended
कैसा
up
लगता
using.
है? हाँ.
ये देखो
हाँ.
क्या बोला, घंटी बजेगी.
yes.
तो बाबा इसको बना cold open.
Oh, when he said, okay, wait, what time is it?
I have a small opportunity here to
Oh shit. हाँ.
just randomly be here while
Oh, yeah.
Varun opens the door, comes back.
रुक जा 2 सेकंड. हाँ, let बाबा इधर से ले वापस. क्लब हाउस.
हाँ.
आदर. सेक्स
हाँ.
क्लब हाउस.
So it's like आपका what kind of sex do you like? This is
Oh,
the
no.
conversation that is happening, and like अच्छा आपको पीछे से अच्छा लगता है या आगे. I'm not even, these are the words being used.
एक मिनट, I never ended up
आपको
using club house.
आपको पीछे
सुनना.
से
मेरे को बता, तो there is what, one person talking and the others can't talk.
No,
with
everybody
I mean-
can listen.
No, you
Everybody
can
is
listen,
listening to
yes,
this.
but you can't talk.
People are joining in, so they request to join, and then there are like 10 people who are going, and they're like, अच्छा अभी हम लोग रवि को शॉट लेने देंगे.
That's a little on the nose.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it was
Shooting a shot
chaos.
was a very popular, huh?
It was chaos. And like,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's the thing, right? Like, I feel like now anything that becomes popular, right? Everyone sort of like immediately gets excited. Everyone rushes in. They think that, okay, this is the next big thing. And there's this like sort of cycle to it, right? Where like you have all these people who are eager to try it. And then eventually it devolves into influencers trying to gain clout. And then
Yeah.
it devolves into just people getting
Ads.
bored. Yeah, ads, people getting bored, leaving. And then just the absolute, like the people who stay back, the last brigade of every app.
And then finally
just the
Elon Musk
saddest bunch.
buying it. And then Elon was buying it.
And then Musk buying it. But sorry,
You know,
before we
मेरे को क्या लग रहा है मालूम है, like you remember when Twitter came out, right? When it just started, 2010, like half the stand-up scene in India started on Twitter. You
Yeah.
remember those times when people
Yeah, yeah.
would actually meet each other and shake hands while telling their Twitter handle.
yeah, it used
Isn't
to be,
it
it used to be
tweet
called a
ups?
tweet ups.
Ah, where people used to meet, it was called a tweet up, and they would address themselves with their Twitter handles,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
go tweet about the tweet up after they've gone home.
Yeah.
ये था. But it was fun, right? Then it came to a certain point where it just started getting more like toxic and this, and now it's come to a point where all of us who used to use it a lot earlier are just like, fuck it bro, मैं जाके कुछ बोल
Right.
रहा ही नहीं है, कुछ देख रहा ही नहीं है. मैं literally जाके अपना जो अपने जो तेरे को पसंद है news sources, whether it's following certain people or companies or whatever, I'm like a outside observer, and then once in a while, maybe if something miraculously funny strikes, I will tweet and then take a screenshot and put it up. So I feel the thing with threads is that it's got a lot of those people up first, right?
Yeah.
Who want to enjoy Twitter, but they
Who got
they
jaded by
want
the
they're jaded, exactly, that's the right word, and they want to sort of be at that initial fun stage, because to give it some time, if fucking 4.5 million people or something joined, right, in like 5 hours or something like that, like whatever, it's record breaking.
It's
So
30 million at the point of this recording, and it's been
No,
a day and a half.
wow,
it's a fresh start. It's a fresh start for people because there's a lot of tweets that, you're like I myself were like, I deleted 3 threads because I was like, "Arey, ye to screenshot hoga." So it's like now it's a fresh start to now create your profile the way you wanted to, or like say whatever you wanted to publicly. There's
but
like
they've got this really nice feature where you can sort of when they're onboarding you to the app, in one thing only, you can follow all your existing lists.
All your
yeah,
existing Instagram list.
Instagram
yeah.
list,
So no,
obviously.
so the point I was making was there's a huge difference between like people who were Twitter folks, like hardcore
Yeah.
Twitter folks, and
Yeah.
Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there is a very big distinction, and like I don't think everyone who's on Instagram particularly enjoys the Twitter vibe of that
That's what I'm saying.
oversharing, that
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
But which is where, and they don't enjoy it because of what it's become at this point.
No,
They'll try to, I think, sort of work into their own this via threads, because it's still new, right? It's not gotten to that toxic level yet, which it will very, very soon. When 30 million people have joined in less than 2-3 days, everybody's going to attack that next. Right. And apparently I read some, I don't know if it's true, but you can't, if you delete threads, it's directly
you can't
connected
delete
to
your threads
Instagram
profile without deleting your Instagram profile.
Instagram profile. Yeah.
And I think that this is one of those insidious things that Mark Zuckerberg has done, keeping in mind that, okay, a lot of people will be curious and they'll join the app, they'll make their profile. Eventually they'll realize, okay, this is not for me. And then they'll be like, okay,
Guys,
I'll delete it.
Threads is Hotel California.
Yeah.
You can come in anytime you want, but you can never leave.
Yeah, I doubt there's anyone who's like, I'll delete my Instagram profile with it. That's how much I want to be off this.
Yeah, and once you're there, the thread has tied you up. Ab tum baitho wahan pe like a hostage.
No, then pro tip, open a new Instagram account which is specifically for your thread. So if you want to leave it, leave it.
Yeah.
And at the point of giving this advice, I would like to say that I have attached my actual Instagram profile to my threads, so I can't delete it.
Yeah, threads पे फिर वो मिलता है ना, हम लोग को verification badge मिलता है ना, if you open it with the this. What
yeah. No, and the other thing about like Twitter, right, is that there was this one Twitter which existed in the early days, one Twitter in the middle period where you had all the bots and everything, and then there is this post Elon period, which is also worth talking about. Like we never really spoke about this like Elon takeover, and the real Elon came out. It was crazy.
But like he did this thing recently where verified profiles will be able to see about 6,000 posts in a day, and then non-verified can only see 600 posts in a day.
See or put up. There can be no limit on what you see.
I tell Elon,
no.
Bro, मैं थोड़ी कर रहा हूँ.
You like 600 was like a limit to the tweets that you could view.
That you could view in a day or something like that.
Gee, okay.
No, I mean like the other thing about it, right, is the fact that like Elon Musk is a billionaire, like, and before his whole Twitter thing, right, he used to be like positioned as, the PR was he's a billionaire rocket scientist,
saving the world. Yeah,
literal genius who is literally Tony Stark in real life. For it's amazing, wow, what a great guy. And then you saw the stuff he tweeted, and then you're like, why? Fuck, he's in charge of rockets.
Yeah, I think उसका split personality, bro. एक उसका scientist, rocket engineer Elon Musk वाला और Tesla वाला सीन है, और दूसरा ये है. इधर कुछ भी चल रहा है.
It's that
challenging Mark Zuckerberg to a
cage fight.
Cage fight.
Oh, dude, the cage fight. उसकी मम्मी ने उसको बोला नहीं करनी है cage fight. उसने बोला, अरे mom, you don't let me do anything fun.
But dude, I mean, what a time to be alive where you see billionaire CEOs challenging each other to a cage fight.
I would watch. That's the thing. I
See,
want
that
to
I like.
watch.
That I like. That's fun. And it should be a fight to death match, actually. You know,
Yeah,
like
and
that's-
Joe Rogan
that'll-
has to be there, like announcing. That'll be fun.
And
No, but-
all of this will be streamed live on YouTube.
YouTube.
But my point is that, right? Like the fact that like I don't expect anybody who does a thing called board meetings to also do cage fight. Like it's quite a crazy,
Yeah.
absurd world. I don't think we're fully grasping how surreal it
But
is.
I think Elon would beat him, bro. Because Zuck इतना
No,
छोटा है
dude.
और
Nahi,
Elon
dude.
बड़ा
They're
है.
both very serious about it. तूने Zuckerberg का देखा है where he's doing like full jujitsu and everything.
नहीं,
अभी वो
क्या
recently
जिसको
एक कोई
करता है?
मैच जीता है. हाँ, he won a match with somebody.
Who against his employee? Fucking tap out, I'll fire you. Zuck wins in record 30 seconds. Well done, Zuck. Yeah.
Employee has been
Sold all
marked
my
safe.
shares. You tap out or I'll sell all your shares.
It's fucking crazy. No, so okay.
But you know, there was a thing I read where Elon Musk could have bought the entire English Premier League, all the clubs, for the amount that he spent buying Twitter.
Wow.
वो 44 बिलियन जब उसने खर्च किया, हम लोग टोस्टर लेने के पहले इतना सोचते हैं. 44 बिलियन, bro. Like, and
Yeah.
obviously it's
He could have
raise
bought the
funding, ये वो
entire
इधर-उधर से.
EPL. That's a legit
Yeah.
figure.
44.
Why
I
wouldn't
mean, I
you
don't
do
know
that?
about.
I saw a tweet about it. So it
To
must
give
be
you
true.
context, right now, Aadar, Manchester United are haggling between some 5 billion and 8 billion. उसके बीच में they are like, hey, थोड़ा कम ज़्यादा दे देना, please. That's
हाँ.
going on. Okay, so 44 billion. But also like the other thing about Elon Musk taking over, right, is the fact that like at least as a regular Twitter user for a long time, it was very obvious to me from the outside. I don't know about anything else. Just by being a user, it was obvious to me that you're never going to recover 44 billion from Twitter.
But
मतलब जब मैंने
I think
figure
he's
भी सुना ना,
functioning
मैं
on
बोला,
minimum
really?
minimum staff or something ना ऐसा करके कर रहा है ना. It's all like just autopilot now because he's not creating anything new with the coding there.
No, the
ऐसा कुछ
folks,
चक्कर है.
the folks who are on Twitter are so not monetizable. Like they are so far from being monetizable.
They are coming and complaining on Twitter about how they don't get paid enough. Now pay $8 to come and complain about how you don't
Yeah.
get paid enough.
Bro, how will you? They are getting paid sometimes to tweet.
Yeah.
क्या पैसा ले रहा है तू? पागल है क्या?
कभी तुझे ब्रांड
ये
डील आती है
ट्वीट
ठाकुर where they're like
ट्वीट फार्म में उसको
ठाकुर
पैसे मिल रहे ट्वीट करने के लिए और उसको ट्वीट करने के लिए पैसे देने पड़ रहे ट्विटर. सो उन लोग का इनपुट कॉस्ट और सेम. तो फ्री में काम कर रहे ट्वीट फार्म पे. पैसा आया क्या? नहीं, चुदिए. क्यों? तेरा $8 है दिन का. अरे $8 तो मैं भर रहा हूँ.
अरे आपका 600 ट्वीट हो गया, $8 और भरो आप. बट देखो कभी कोई ब्रांड डील आया क्या रिसेंटली ठाकुर वेयर इट्स लाइक you have to do this, you have to make a reel and everything and you have to do 3 tweets and you're like क्यों?
Yeah.
नो, मैं तो हाँ बोलता हूँ.
नहीं, he's correct. हाँ बोलना चाहिए, but
मैं
हाँ
नहीं
बोल
Aadar
दे.
is
was like I'm not going to say no to free money but like क्यों?
नहीं, तू मेरे को
क्या
पैसा
फर्क
दे, मैं अपना ऑर्कुट अकाउंट चालू कर दूंगा वहां पर, तो टेस्टिमोनियल में लिंक करूंगा. याद है कि नहीं?
hey,
Orkut.
remember when you know like the engagement on tweets like used to be ki, where they used to do these fake conversations on Twitter. Where the brand would say something and then you should उस पे tweet कर. Oh wow, what an interesting discount.
ये वाले भी बहुत हुए. एक टाइम
नहीं
ब्रो, एक टाइम पे चल
हम
रहा
लोग
था
ने
ना,
एक बार किया था. हाँ क्या
एक
बोला
टाइम पे चल रहा था वेर बहुत सारे ब्रांड्स कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, क्योंकि एक किसी ने बहुत अच्छे से किया था, तो हे लेट्स छापीस, तो अलग अलग ब्रांड आके बात करें. सडनली यू द पर्सन is getting excited about something you are totally like never excited about. Right?
Yeah.
That's where you should get your insurance from. It's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
मैं कभी आज तक बात नहीं किया उसके.
Oh
And we
my God.
expect कि ऑडियंस बोलने वाले fuck यार क्या इंटरेस्टिंग है. सबको मालूम है क्या चल रहा है,
Right,
ठीक है, मेरे को मालूम है, जो मेरे ट्वीट्स पढ़ेगा उसको मालूम है, जो ब्रांड एम्बेसडर है उसको भी मालूम है.
So Thakur, to add to this now, so what used to happen is that the brand would do a campaign on Twitter. Brand has posted something, then influencers have replied to it. फिर आम जनता आता था. They would tag the brand saying, by the way, my customer complaint number has not been resolved.
अब भी तक आ रहा है. याद है कौतुक 2 साल पहले लॉकडाउन के टाइम पे ओला का एक कैंपेन किया था.
Yes.
तो अभी तक मेरे को रैंडमली ट्विटर पे, फेसबुक पे मेरे को लोग लिख रहे कि मेरा कैब बुक नहीं हो रहा है बराबर, ठीक है, बुक किया और वो आदमी चले जा रहा है. अगर तेरे को कल तेरे तेल में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, तू क्या अमिताभ बच्चन में जाके बोलेगा अरे आपने बोला नवरत्न तेल,
आपका ये नवरत्न चल रहा है.
मैं सिर्फ ब्रांड एम्बेसडर.
अरे bro, they are doing literally this. So Byju's का सीन हो रहा है ना अभी. There's a huge problem with Byju's. So people are tweeting at
And what is that? The name?
No, they're in huge trouble. So they are tweeting to Shah Rukh Khan कि हमने पैकेज लिया था इसका, हमारा ट्यूशन होएगा क्या? शाहरुख क्या बोलेगा तेरे को?
शाहरुख ने एक बार अपने एक रिकॉर्डेड मैसेज जो एआई से रेप्लिकेट होके सबको जाएगा, ठीक है, ए यार सॉरी आपको ये बराबर नहीं मिल रहा है, लेकिन भाई जो सबसे बेस्ट है. अरे मुझे शाहरुख ने रिप्लाई किया.
हाँ, बस वो लोग उसमें खुश हो जाएंगे. बायजूस को और 500 रुपया.
ये ले, अगला सेमेस्टर में मेरा बच्चा यही जाएगा बायजूस.
So what they used to do, they used to have so if you had worked behind the screen on any marketing campaign during Twitter, so we used to all have double jobs now when we were starting out comedy. So I had worked on one campaign where they were doing something. It was a live tweet session with influencers. तो वो दोनों the big influencers who are face influencers, जिनका थोपड़ा कैमरा के आगे आता है. Then there were the Twitter influencers जो एक बगल वाले रूम में उन लोग को like rats बिठाया हुआ था, and they were interacting with anything that these people were talking about on screen, and they were interacting with it, and their job was to go through, and they were not just through their pages, they had 20 pages in their hands, these social media managers.
Yeah.
और बाकी क्या लोग बैठ के देख रहे हैं ये स्क्रीन पे?
नहीं,
स्क्रीन पे नहीं देख रहे हो, ट्विटर पे चल रहा है ना एक्टिविटी.
अच्छा,
and you're creating you're doing videos, you're doing
like
this,
a AMA or whatever.
AMA plus and questions are being asked by the people sitting in the next room who are planted.
It was too funny.
वो this is like वो जो ये आता है ना रात को लेट नाइट टीवी पे,
हाँ.
तेरे को एक्टर का फेस गैस करना होता है. जितने भी कॉल आ रहे आधे लेजिट भी नहीं, आधे पीछे वाले बैठे.
ये रवीना टंडन है सर, ये आदमी का क्लियरली आदमी दिख रहा है आप. ये कैसे?
You know, I also want to talk about the aspect of social media managers, right? Like the fact that at this point in time, I think everyone is their own social media manager. There's the only difference is that some managers get paid for the work that they're doing, right, on social media. Like we are literally doing the same thing ki engagement badhao, reach badhao, ye karo, wo karo, all of this nonsense, right? And every brand now has to have a social media presence, which means that they have to have a social media team, which means that these people have to create content for more and more social media like platforms, right? So you had initially it was just Facebook and one more thing, and then it became Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, and now Threads, right? So it's just like this never ending. Like the first day of Threads, most of the conversation was just social media managers going like, अब क्या करूँ मैं? मैं क्या करूँ इसके साथ?
Engagement कैसे बढ़ाऊँ? Oh shit. Hey, maybe we could do a conversation between different influencers who just come, and then people watching it will be like, wow, that's organic.
Threads ka pitch was, you can also share pictures on Thread with things written under. So it's Instagram
in Twitter format.
It's so weird, dude.
Bro,
तुम caption वैसे लिख रहे हो Instagram पे उसके नीचे. So that is your whatever written text and your photo. Now you can write the thing, and that is, तो उसने flip कर दिया. Now that is the hero and this is the supplementary.
देखो पता है जो hamsters भागते हैं ना wheel के अंदर.
Yeah.
ठीक है, ये social media apps वो wheel है और अपने hamster है जो करते जा रहे हैं.
100%.
तो फेसबुक पे स्टेटस अपडेट्स कर रहा था फोटो के साथ, तो किसी ने देखा एक काम करते ना, मल्टीपल स्टेटस अपडेट्स नॉन स्टॉप करते रहेंगे तो कितना फनी होगा. कट ट्विटर बन गया. ठीक है, अभी वही वहां से एक इंस्टाग्राम आ गया फोटो का, बोलते एक काम करते अभी फोटो के साथ अपन यहाँ ट्वीट भी लिखा. इट्स लाइक द सेम stuff just repurpose, repackage, you know, shinier color, new logo. Which I mean, like, and at the end of the day, you still keep regurgitating the same content,
Same content, yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That nothing is really organically needing to wow, fuck, अभी कुछ में अलग type का content बनाएगा. I think that biggest sort of breakthrough came when TikTok happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm surprised for an app called TikTok, it did that well, right? But it truly changed the game because suddenly you were not just putting pictures or like fucking venting. Now you're able to get audio visual aid. You know, like anybody could become a performer. It became a different kind of a like a social media.
It was the first, it was the first new innovation that happened with social media where
So, but
in a while.
actually, and they had kind of like built upon Vine, which was
no, but like
Thakur's.
Vine was not an assisted format. Vine. It took an extreme amount of effort to make something original on Vine. You're getting me? It's like from scratch. यहाँ पे क्या हो गया था? You had so many things to aid you. The assisted content, as it's now. I think
no,
it's
of course, but like even on Vine, the fact that you could make short form videos, right, that are not necessarily 1 minute, 7 सेकंड होता था, bro. It would take a lot, but you even from मैं कितना 150-250 बनाया था वो टाइम पे सिर्फ घर पे रह के सर पे टॉवल रख के ये वो सब कर I'm talking about 2014 and like stuff like that. It got improved upon that where you said 7 सेकंड में उसको 60 सेकंड बना देते.
Yeah.
Right, then you had a TikTok, Instagram वो भी देखे चल इसको भी लेके आ और Reels बन गया. Then Reel became, you know, when Reels started like 2 years odd ago, it's not what it is right now, right? That is also just changed. Earlier it was just
Reels
like
was 15 seconds or something.
Huh?
Yeah, Reels was 15 seconds.
Yeah, 15 seconds, but it was also you see the kind of content that goes up on Reels right now.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's also insane to see the evolution of a tap normal wala and just singing to like some people are incredible with their production for something as short as 30 seconds or 60 seconds, like the kind of music.
But that's also
the
repurposing
effort.
content. Na? These are people who are very good with YouTube work, and then they are repurposing their content to this, and they're shooting it knowing that, oh, I'm going to repurpose this for this. So they're, again, because they've got so many social media platforms now, they are shooting at a higher
full-time
quality because
job,
there are
dude.
multiple places to put it up.
Yeah,
Sharing it is effort, because YouTube
100%.
Shorts के लिए मेरे को अलग से डालना पड़ता है format में, because if I have to do a thumbnail, then YouTube Shorts के पहले I have to put a 1 second thumbnail. That's how the thumbnail will show up then. And so everything has a different format of uploading also, which is a pain in the ass.
100%. And like, so say for example, like even us, right? Like we've been doing podcasts for what, like from 2015, 16, somewhere thereabouts. And the evolution of that, right? So initially we were just doing, like, we had no idea what, I mean, this is not even a podcast, it's a video series that we do, right? Essentially, where we talk. So
Zoom call.
It's a Zoom call. So the thing is, from that to now we've started making reels of this content, right? That's a whole separate amount of effort and time and specialization, expertise that goes
guys,
into it, right?
come next year, 2024 onwards, you will see a thread version of this where everything that is said is also simultaneously written out and put out. So it's a long thread, and then you can read the podcast.
It'll be screenshot of Varun, screenshot of Kautuk, screenshot of Aadar with whatever you've said, and pop, and that's the thread.
Completely generated by AI.
No, AI is the next. I mean, it's the current. उसको ना एक ऐसे एक ऐप बनाने का, ठीक है, जिसपे तू फोटो और अगर कैप्शन डालना है, ठीक है, AI decides that okay, Kautuk speaks like that, or because we all have a Twitter personality, you have an Instagram personality, you used to have a Facebook personality, you're something on YouTube, and then you are like an altogether different person when none of these are on, right?
Yeah.
So AI understands that, takes whatever content you put up, automatically cuts it
into that.
Yeah, keeping in mind how you would speak on, like, मान लो Twitter पहले जैसे होता था where before you tweet something you would like double check it, भाई ग्रामर नाजी है, ठीक है, मैं बराबर बोल रहा हूँ कि नहीं, because it became like that. एक टाइम के बाद कुछ भी होने लग गया. अभी तो तू जाके शाहरुख को कंप्लेन करके बोल सकता है कि भाई जूस चल रहा है,
भाई जूस चल रहा नहीं है मेरा,
ठीक है. So ऐसे एक होना चाहिए ऐप, सुपर ऐप, ये बनाओ.
And dude, I think they should just, I think what the billionaires should do is they should all come together. Okay. And like China has like one app where you do everything
China
on it.
does have a super app, no?
Yeah, exactly.
WeChat.
So all
WeChat.
these billionaires, why don't you just shake hands? Okay, forget the cage fight. Just come together, pool all your resources, make one mega app. I'm a face, I'm a face tweet. Okay, बना दे एक, उस पे मैं सब करूँगा, right? सब, like from podcasting to
अबे
buying
तू भी मत
grocery.
कर, तू भी मत कर, तू सिर्फ अपने फेस के यूसेज का राइट दे उनको, ठीक है? और एआई को बोल कर देने. तो उधर एक कौतुक का रील कट रहा है जिसमें
By the way,
कौतुक
there
नाच
are
रहा भी है,
people.
फिर
Yeah.
कौतुक एक
Hello.
इंटेलेक्चुअल ट्विटर थ्रेड कर रहा है, उसका
There are
कौतुक
people who are
पॉडकास्ट कर
doing
रहा है
this.
यूट्यूब पे.
There are people who are doing this.
I just
Hello,
hope that they
no,
don't
no,
also
no.
start and
And I can genuinely tell you, I have
also for you then.
4 steps. Yeah, OnlyFans में तो guarantee they can do it like that. But Kautuk, if you're doing second-hand stories, you type it out. Once you've typed it out, you can dump it into a voice generator that has taken Kautuk Shirvatav samples from the previous stories. And then you take all the amount of video footage you have from the podcasts.
So
You take Kautuk's analysis and they will create an avatar for Kautuk who will narrate the stories in Kautuk's voice, and Kautuk can be quadrupling his entire output.
Aadar, yaar, you sound like, this sounds exactly like those. There are these specialized people who do all of this nonsense on Twitter
which
and
is
all
like
these places.
5 things with AI that you have not explored yet.
Yeah,
A thread.
this will make you 10x as productive as you are right now. अरे छोड़ ना यार, bye please.
You know, मैं एक बार किया, 2 बार किया, मैंने बहुत सारे सेव करने थे क्योंकि ट्विटर पे यही आ रहे थे एक टाइम पे, that you know, AI is here but are you using it correctly? You know, and then they'll give you like the hacks or like certain commands and prompts that you have to do across the various AI platforms to optimize results.
Dude, so Thakur, हाँ, ये
किसी ने एक last point about this is like, this is a really funny tweet. I don't know who's done it because I think it's gotten watered down by the end of it, but it's like, nobody has made an AI to do my taxes. I want to do art. Don't take that away from me. Do my fucking taxes.
ये भाई मार्केट में ये गैप है.
Bro, you know what I find very amusing about the way that they're selling AI, like the AI influencers are selling AI, is that, you know how in life insurance ads, the ad would be super morbid, right? Like it would be like, आपका पति मर गया है. और जब वो मर गया है,
जब वो चले गए, नहीं, वो मेरा फेवरेट है. शादी हो रही है, कुछ सेलिब्रेशन हो रही है, उनके मरने के बाद मुझे तो लगा था कुछ नहीं होगा,
Exactly.
आज पैसे.
Dude, they are selling AI like that कि अगर आप ये नहीं खरीदोगे तो आप मर जाओगे. If you don't know these 5 life hacks, then are you even alive? Are you going to survive? Are you even going to breathe?
But bro, मैं बोल रहा हूँ मार्क करके सेव करके रख ले क्योंकि थोड़े टाइम में लगने वाला है.
Yeah.
No, 100% लगेगा, but like it's not like कि तू मर जाएगा. कि तेरा सब.
But then I am very impressed by AI. It's like, the thing is, I think the language barrier is very high with AI. Like हम लोग अपने podcast में ये नहीं कर सकते because even the sentence I just said right now, I split the language while talking. So there are AI systems which are good for podcasts. What they do is they are dividing your podcast into topics based on analysis of what you were talking about. So वो जो होता है ना YouTube पे, where you can skip to this, they do that. But then again, there's a language barrier. There are edit apps where the person who's talking on the podcast, the video will cut to that person.
Yeah.
So that is already ready. Then after that, then basically rendering Neville useless.
No, but to also kind of like to talk about, to bring it back to threads, right? The question I want to ask you guys, like, and I think we've been on social media for what, like a decade, like more than a decade. And the question is this, right?
Longer than most social media apps survived.
Yeah, 100%. So now the question is that you've seen all the life cycles of various apps and all of that. You've made, like for example, Thakur, you've made content on Vines, right? You put in all this tremendous effort, got some reach, got people to see it, all of that stuff, and then the app shuts down. Of course, you repurpose it, etc., all of that stuff happens. But the question is that I, at this point, when I saw threads and I got onto it, I felt very sort of like done with it. Like done with this whole like creating
same.
content specifically for this and getting on that same sort of cycle again and again and again. And I know that this time the cycle will be faster, right? The cycle will be much faster in the sense that like the way that influencers know how to utilize this thing faster,
manipulate it faster.
Brands know how to magnify the reach faster or monetize it faster. Like that whole, it's become so soul sucking, where it used to be about that pure like I just want to satiate my curiosity and nourish my connections. That's it. That's all I wanted.
Big
Right?
words.
So, but my point is that
you will never hear on any of these social media.
exactly
unless you follow Jay Shetty.
So my question is that like, do you guys like?
No, I think I might use it a little bit. Sort of use it only because I used to like to tweet earlier. It used to be fun. So before this hits the shit ceiling, I maybe wanna fulfill that urge of wanting to tweet, but not on Twitter, but on something similar. And then the other thing is also now it's sort of coming back down to the whole idea that we're talking about, which is getting everything done in one place. Right? Like you're making your reels on it, you're putting your stories on it. If you're the one who's very like micro-blogging, want to talk about their life 24/7 and you like and you enjoy doing that, you have it on like the same platform.
That's also dangerous.
Very soon we will like integrate it. Like where how
but
you can
it's very,
post and
very
share.
Black Mirror.
You will be able to do a thread from your Instagram app only. That's what I'm assuming will probably happen.
Which will happen
soon.
They integrated reels into Instagram. No, pehle nahi tha reels. Reels was a separate app. IGTV was a separate app. So they'll eventually integrate the whole thing into one massive thing, and ultimately Facebook will also absorb the whole like.
Oh God.
And then WhatsApp bhi usme hi aa jayega. And they will try. It's about power. It's like imagine the amount of power this one person wields there. That's dangerous.
Bro, there was that, we didn't even talk about this, right? Did you guys see the Apple Vision Pro?
Oh God.
The AR VR experience.
3.5 lakh.
अरे बट क्या वीडियो बनाया था वो लोग ने, राइट? लाइक कि तू किधर भी मूवी दिखा दे, कुछ भी कर, लाइक इट्स जस्ट
बट द थिंग इज तेरे को बैटरी पैक अपने ऐसे गांड में रखना पड़ता है, व्हिच इज वेरी डम.
वो वहां से चार्ज होता है?
नहीं, उधर
from the body heat. It's the matrix. It's the bioelectricity that is being generated. They've taken special Tesla
जितना बैठे
batteries.
रहेगा उतना गर्म होगा वो, जितना गर्म होगा उतना चार्ज होगा, जितना चार्ज होगा उतना तू पहन पाएगा, और जितना तेरे को देखने में मजा आएगा उतना तू बैठ पाएगा. तो तू वापस hamster on a wheel wearing VR goggles है. But I'm like, इतना आगे से देखने का है क्या सब कुछ? इतना ऐसा कुछ भाई झाड़ वाड़ नहीं, मेरे को पहनते रहना है, ऐसे रहूंगा मैं पूरा टाइम. Just like अकेले बैठे रहेंगे, मेरे को लगता है ऐसे हो जाएगा ब्रो.
100%.
Thing is because Apple products are so expensive, सब जनता नहीं ले रहा है. ठीक है, if Android was able to achieve same level or whatever they have, I don't know, I'm not a tech person.
I promise you, Thakur, Vision Pro comes out 3 months later, Boat creates a exact same version for 3,000 rupees.
3,000 rupees. $3,500 is too much. How about $35?
And इसमें it looks the same, but the screen comes from inside your eyeball.
So it's just glasses, and you can take off the glass from the glasses, and then you can see the world.
Also, you don't get a battery pack. You don't get a battery pack. You have to connect to the wall socket directly. Then there'll be incidents of defective pieces where people got electrocuted because they were connected directly to the wall socket.
Bro, one day you will be outside Bandra station और तेरे को ठेले पे दिखेगा Vision Plus Pro. 150 में देना, 150 max 150. हाँ ठीक है सर, ले लो.
मेरे को लगा पब्लिक पहन के ना रास्ते पे चलने लग जाएगी. ठीक है, और जब भी 20 मिलियन लोग बॉम्बे में चल रहे हैं एक दूसरे को, सब लोग अपना विजन चेंज कर रहे थे, दादर में चल रहे, लेकिन उनको दिखाई देते हैं which is on boarding on one of the London tube station. मजा आ रहा है बहुत.
Apple भी नकली Apple है, ऐसे
भरा हुआ है.
ये ओरिजिनल एप्पल है क्या? हाँ सर, ओरिजिनल एप्पल है, और एप्पल का स्पेलिंग गलत लिखा हुआ है डब्बे पे.
एप्पल
APLE
FFALE.
Bro, it'll be crazy if you should have like, imagine अगर तू बॉम्बे में पब्लिक चल रहा है उसको लगा के और तू मूवी देख रहा है.
सबको कुछ और ही इमेजिन हो रहा है, ऐसे उधर फोटोज दिखाई नहीं दे रहे, ऐसे पूरा मस्त medieval freshly laid rock.
Dude,
क्या
But
बोलूं?
I have I did this on stage the other day. It was the idea that porn adopts everything much sooner.
Yeah.
So VR was also adopted by porn much sooner. And the thing with Apple, all these headgear devices is because it's so much. You can be doing like you can actually be in a VR porn video and then like mummy आ गई room में, you'll never get caught. नहीं मम्मी video game खेल रहा है. Just
ये कौन सा वीडियो गेम है?
अरे मैं फ्लाइट सिमुलेटर चला रहा है, अभी गाड़ी चला रहा हूँ.
मम्मी हाँ ये प्लेन उड़ा रहा हूँ. नहीं उसमें दो ही स्टीयरिंग होते हैं ऐसे.
ऐसा है वो, ये पुराना वो राइट ब्रदर्स वाला
वो
plane
ठीक है बेटा, लेकिन आपने पैंट क्यों निकाली हुई है?
मम्मी वो रडर के लिए चाहिए होता है, वो उससे स्पीड कंट्रोल होता है.
रडर के लिए.
Or more such.
No, but can you imagine there will be one parent who is going to pick up their kids' headset, put it on, and suddenly be shocked by the history that is on this Vision Pro Plus.
But also,
क्या देख रहा है?
3.5 लाख रुपए दिए.
will you be able to access it because it'll be that retina whatever, right? तो ऐसा retina से होएगा and
अरे
you won't be able to get
वो
into it.
पेरेंट पहले लेके जाएगा अपने बेटे के पास, डालेगा उसके आँख के उधर.
बोला
फिर लगा-
क्या साला क्या दिख रहा?
बाईजूस
अभी से ये मेरा.
हाँ सडनली पापा को भी पसंद आ गया. हाँ अच्छा है. नहीं कुछ नहीं, सब ठीक है. ये बाईजूस भी पढ़ रहा है.
बाईजूस शाहरुख से बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. एक से शाहरुख ये चल रहा नहीं है क्या?
बेटे अभी ये थोड़े दिन मेरे पास रहेगा, मैं भी बाईजूस
मेरे को भी पढ़ाई करनी है, मेरा कभी हुआ नहीं.
मम्मी कम्स होम, आप क्या कर रहे हो? मैं फ्लाइट चला रहा हूँ.
बाईजूस पे सीखा. देखो बगल में शाहरुख बैठा हुआ है मेरे.
pure beautiful tech conversations the way they were meant to be.
Somebody from Apple should just watch this. Let's see what people are saying
By the way,
about Vision Pro.
I'd like to point out that this podcast was meant to be something else, जिसके लिए हम लोग सब रिसर्च करके आए थे. और कौतुक ने बोला पहले 10 मिनट just talk about threads.
Bro, but this is what threads is. Starts with one thing, by the time you get to the 7th thread कुछ और.
This is the evolution, first proper conversation. Social media, how does it feel like, coming on new social media after 30 years, after the age of 30 rather. और उसके बाद मैं फ्लाइट चला रहा हूँ. What the fuck happened? Viewers of this podcast, minute 1, minute 44.
The saddest part about social media is also that it forces these these people from all of these dignified professions like scientists and journalists and all that, and they force them into abhi chal video content with music. नहीं तो कोई सुनेगा नहीं तेरा.
Dude, मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है ये जो VR वाला चक्कर है ना, people say that we feel like we are part of the podcast when we are watching it. So at some point we will have to be like, how we shoot it is in VR, where we are sitting across like a round table or something, and that seat is the viewer, where the viewer can look at Kautuk talking, look at Aadar talking, look at ऐसे करके, and that is what you are experiencing. That we'll have to adapt to that as
and
a podcast.
you will experience this along with crippling loneliness.
Crippling loneliness. Because you're trying to touch Varun, but you can't. It's like, अरे क्या कर रहा है बेटा? मैं वरुण से हैंडशेक कर रहा हूँ. वरुण प्लेन चलाना सीख रहा है.
It's so crazy how quickly all of this changes. I feel like the next evolution is not going to be something within social media. It will be something outside of social media altogether. Right, like something completely. Because I'm done after a decade and a half or thereabouts of social media. I'm done. I just want something that replicates, I don't know, trees, breeze, the sea.
Because there's not, I don't think there's any new, like, where could you go from whatever has been innovated so far across the different social media apps? What is left? What is the next frontier?
Someone's going to imagine it.
Everything needs to be an experience, like to the point where if you're doing
That's
a
true.
boxing match, the boxers will have 360
Come and
cameras
fucking
on their head. The boxers will have 360 cameras on their head. Like Conor McGregor will have a 360 cam on his head, and you have to pay a super premium to access that first person footage.
कॉनर मैकग्रेगर ये पहन के चल रहा, किसने सर पे बजा दिया उसको लग गया, मर गया, और
वो गोप्रो को थोड़ी कुछ होएगा
Bro, so you know,
सामने वाले का भी होएगा ना, और वो करेंगे वो लोग 100 मिलियन और दिया उन लोग को, 200 मिलियन और दिया कोई वीडियो गेम कंपनी ने,
Vision Pro में, so they were doing one thing where because it's augmented reality, right, and virtual reality, so the idea was that they were going to they were talking of tying up with sports brands and companies, and essentially giving you a ringside view for a subscription. So तू whatever $50 a month या जो भी है भर, और तू उधर बैठ के ऐसे एकदम सामने से देख सकता है कैसे रोनाल्डो तेरे सामने से जा रहा है भाग के. Okay, so that was
घर पे बैठा है ना.
हाँ, तू घर पे बैठा है. So you're not going anywhere, और तुम बस लगा के
एक काम कर, टीवी के बहुत पास जाके बैठ जाए, ऐसे जाके बैठ टीवी के पास फ्री में.
बट विजन प्रो में वैसा होएगा नहीं ना, क्योंकि टीवी तेरे पास यहाँ पे projected in front of you, big.
No. So the thing is ki, unlike the TV is restricted by what the cameraman is doing, right, and the editor is doing. Idhar tu ground pe, tu ground pe dekh sakta hai.
Imagine if you're watching a basketball game and you're sitting next to a celebrity on courtside. You can constantly keep looking at Beyonce. Hey, like मेरे बगल में Beyonce बैठी है.
But तेरे बगल में नहीं बैठी है. That's the genius of it.
Yeah.
So I think like you're right. Like something or the other, someone or the other is going to come up with, which is hopefully going to be different from all of this stuff.
By the way, you know, us boomers are there sitting wondering, hey, there's not been any new app or nothing we know about Falana Timka, but I just found that there has been, and there are a couple of them that people are using, and somebody had told me about this earlier, but I never got onto it. So there is one, it's called, if you're tired of Instagram reality of filters, photoshops and fake photos that dominate, BeReal.
Oh yeah, BeReal. Yeah.
So I'd heard about this, but I never got onto it.
It's very popular.
Because
you have only 15 minutes to upload something per day, only one post a day.
But guys,
randomly come
anytime
during the day.
The reason we didn't get onto this is because we're all above 30.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said, no, like
क्या है यार, क्यों करेगा?
Made in France, okay, and you can. This is a new and unique way to discover who your friends really are. I don't know how that really works, because the minute you put a camera in front of me, you've already created what you want to be portrayed outside.
Yes,
so
I don't think people can switch as fast because we act. It is easier for us to switch the moment a camera comes on us. But a lot of people, if you just suddenly put the camera in front of them, they actually are quite...
And they have this thing where you can put like switch on your front and back camera at the same time.
Yeah.
And you can post 2 photos or something like that. That's one of the things.
The idea was to be real in the sense like wherever you are at that point in time, and however you look, you just post it without filters and stuff like that. It's BeReal. But I mean...
But it's gotten really popular, bro.
Like, to be real,
gone up by like 312%.
But eventually what's going to happen is that like the thing that I find it harder and harder to distinguish between is what is just a fad and what is a true breakthrough, right? Like, because this seemed like such a wonderful fad, like कि अच्छा चल 5 दिन कोई करेगा BeReal और फिर छोड़ना अभी क्या है इसमें.
हाँ, वो पक जाते हैं because they want the fakeness.
So then they should have another app called Be Fake. Uspe you can never see what your friends really look like. They all look like a different person.
Instagram.
The minute your friend sends you a picture, is a Brad Pitt ka photo. Fuck, मेरा दोस्त ऐसा दिखता है. नहीं. Welcome to Be Fake. और कुछ है कि करे RAF. This thread
will continue.
We will have to
monitor the progress. Yeah.
I think we'll have to make videos about upcoming tech faster and faster.
I want Neville to come and rant about what has happened with Thread. I'm sure he's not joined yet. because उसका यहाँ पे
No,
आने
no.
का टाइम नहीं है.
Another episode that needed Baba, but Baba wasn't there. Guys, you can complain
Yeah.
to Baba and tell him and ask him why the fuck is he not here.
Yeah, advertising perspective on what is he going to do and utilize threads as.
And if you want to see Baba rant about these new social media apps, let us know in the comments, and we'll get him to do a rant about social media apps at the beginning of the episode or at the end,
Yeah.
or maybe in the middle. You have
Oh
to just
yeah,
watch
that's
it
a nice
to
cold
find
open.
out. Yeah, bro, or a ender
Must.
or a post credit scene. Anyway,
Wow. So you will first see the beginning. Have no context why Baba is ranting until you get to the very end.
And then three
In the
other
spirit
people
of-
entirely. Three completely different people are talking about the topic. Imagine a person who is just watching the podcast gets introduced to this through this episode. When it's just Baba screaming at the. It's like, yeah, अलग podcast है, but interesting लग रहा है मेरे को. They're breaking the norm.
ये YouTube पे Twitter क्यों बन रहा है? But
Oh my
anyway,
God.
guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Keep watching. We'll be back again next week. Until then, it's bye bye, good night, take care, salame,
Yeah,
ishq.
guys. किसी
See
को
you
कुछ
next
promote करने
Also,
का any social media
the
apps
guys,
that you want to promote?
No, but the guys who are listening to us on Spotify, some of this episode you will have to come to YouTube to see what is happening, because otherwise it's not going to make sense.
You will not have any idea, or you will at least
know
not
why we're saying
appreciate.
plane
Yeah.
क्यों चला रहा है.
Aadar plane क्यों चला रहा है?
But yeah, thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Keep watching, keep
Follow us
listening.
on
See you
all
again.
social media apps, on
Including
Reels,
Threads.
on Instagram, on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on Clubhouse,
Ghana.com,
on
Discord,
Ghana.com,
Bajao
Facebook,
app.
Bajao,
And
Spotify, BeReal.
Hey, remember
We'll join
when
it. If you follow us enough, we will join BeReal also. Follow our account on BeReal so that we join it.
And if you want full 3D immersive social media, you can follow us. I live in Santa Cruz West, Kautuk lives in Malad, and Aadar lives in Bhayandar, off London. So, yeah. And Baba lives in Village. सब लोग फॉलो करें ब्रो. ये नया सोशल मीडिया मस्त है. क्या है?
ये बहुत अच्छा
मजा आ रहा है. तुम देख रहे हैं?
उसके बैग में हम लोग एयर टैग डालते हैं और फिर वो एयर टैग को फॉलो करते हैं हम लोग.
Oh, that's worth doing a whole episode about. All right. Chalo, on that note.
Bye bye. Salam ishq.
Hold up.
All right. So बाबा क्यों नहीं आ रहा है भाई? क्या हुआ उसने? क्या बोला?
Baba is busy. He's got a life.
तो अपने को बाबा के बारे में जो भी बोलना है अभी बोल देते, तो उसके पास कोल्ड ओपन में और कुछ डालने का ऑप्शन ही नहीं रहेगा.
Hey, Baba, I feel like ओगिलवी और हमारे साथ दोनों के साथ काम चोरी करता है dude.
हाँ, उन लोगों को बोलता है पॉडकास्ट शूट कर रहा है, हम लोगों को बोलता है वहां पे काम कर रहा है, और घर पे बैठ के वीडियो गेम खेल रहा है बाबा चड्डी में.
मेरे को पूरा इमेजिन हो गया.
हाँ. It's so easy to imagine him doing that also. That's the thing.
मस्त.
कुछ और कोल्ड ओपन कर लेना चाहिए.
ये काट देगा बाबा.
100%. If you keep this cold open, then you are the real star of.
नहीं करेगा बाबा.
नहीं करेगा.
देखते हैं.
As you can see, that was their idea of a cold open. And I have several messages from all of them, including a call that said, Baba Bachale. I have still kept the cold open that they thought was a cold open that would be worth a cold open. And then them saying that ek aur cold open karna padega at the end of the cold open to prove that I don't just randomly cut things. Anyway, bye-bye.